So thank you for making some time today. We're not going to be on too long. There's part of our meeting where I want to talk a little bit about some things that you need to know for the retreat. And then we're going to pivot into a little bit of embodiment discussion. So I'm really recording this so the folks can hear the piece about the Peru. So everything is set for this retreat. Everything is we're paid in full, which is great. The schedule is completely full. And I had an opportunity to sit with the woman I've been working with during the week, and we finalized everything. So let me see how many of us are on here that are going to coming in early. I will meet with you guys separately so we don't take up the time going over that for the group that's coming in early for San Pedro. But the thing that I wanted to discuss for us is that I think we're all arriving around the same time. Am I freezing?
You did freeze for a minute, but you're okay now.
Yeah, you're fine.
Thank you. Hopefully, let me know if I freeze again, please. Because I see my mouth just moving and I don't see the freezing part. So we all arrive around the same time. Most of you, the other half of you, are arriving around the same time. And so you'll have pickup. I think pickup might be at 11:30, but I'm going to work with them, see if they can come later, because I think everyone comes in around 9-ish, 9:30. So we are going to be, Cusco is going to be at an altitude of about 11,000. Right. So everyone should be okay. It's going to take about an hour, hour and a half to drive to where we're staying in the Sacred Valley. And that altitude drops to about 9,000. Once we get there, they'll have cocoa tea that you can drink throughout your whole stay. So I definitely, and of course, I will send a travel packing list before as we get a little closer. But when I was there, I carried a flask and I just drank cocoa tea all day and I was fine. I didn't have to use anything else and I didn't have any altitude sickness as a result of that. You could also chew the leaves, which does the same thing. It might have a little numbing effect on your lips. The locals tend to chew the leaves and they just keep it in their mouth. But I prefer the tea, so and it's just nice having something warm with me all day anyways. So bring something that can hold water, like a warm tea for most of the day. We have a chock full 9 days. But also I hope enough time for you guys to have time for yourself. What I want to talk about specifically are the hikes in Huayna Picchu. She told me to make sure that they're psychologically ready for the hike, whatever that means. Now, I have done this hike before, but there are different routes in Huayna Picchu. Huayna Picchu is the sister mountain of Machu Picchu. So we'll be in Aguas Calientes for 2 days. The first day we arrive there, and we'll go to Machu Picchu and spend time there. And the second day that we're there is for Huayna Picchu to hike. And so what she told me is that some of you have mentioned hiking sticks. She's trying to see if we could, she has a contact where we could maybe rent the hiking sticks. But if you are bringing your hiking sticks, to make sure that the sticks have rubbers on the end. Otherwise, you won't be allowed to use it. So they have to have rubber ends. And I'll let you know if we're able to rent them. If we are able to rent them, it'll be $20. But definitely for Huayna Picchu, I would suggest some hiking sticks. I didn't have it when I went, but it was definitely a very humbling experience, that hike. It was beautiful, and one of the things that have stayed with me for 12 years, because it was definitely out of my comfort zone because there were so many parts of it. You talk about being focused and having to be present. That is one hike where your mind can't be somewhere else. So we'll be practicing full presence. We're in our presence um, on that day. So for when we go to Aguas Calientes for Machu Picchu, since we are staying overnight, make sure to bring a little backpack. So you're not going to bring your whole suitcase, but just a little backpack where you can put some clothes in for an overnight trip. And along with that, a little day pack where you want to have your water, your sunscreen, a hat, a rain poncho. Again, I'm going to put this in our travel list, and snacks. So pack your snacks for the whole of the Peru retreat. Whatever you need to nourish yourself, protein snacks or some snacks to just get a good nourishment. I'm packing some hydration stuff for myself too. So some hydration little pellets would be good. Light jacket, rain jacket, walking shoes. She says will be fine. She said you don't necessarily need hiking boots, but just good walking shoes that has good grips, particularly for walking on stones. Let's see what else. Discuss later because I'm trying to build in enough time for you guys to just do nothing, or where you might want to have your spa services. So there might be 2 days where we have opportunity to do that. And you can pay on site and make those appointments when you arrive, she said. And we'll have a guide with us throughout the whole retreat. Right, so everywhere we go, she'll come with us too. So that's wonderful. Yeah, the rest is just wait and see and experience. But I wanted to let you know about those particular things, especially the walking stick, so you can, if you want to get your own to bring, but make sure they have a rubber end to it. Any questions related to the retreat that you may have?
Actually, I have one, and you might have gone over it. I couldn't make your first session, but in addition to the cocoa tea, is there medication or something you should also have on hand, or what? I'm not familiar with altitude sickness in general, so can you speak to that just a little tiny bit?
Yeah, when I went, which was in 2014, I did have my doctor prescribe me some altitude medicine. I never took it. But if you feel comfortable, like if you need like an extra backup and you feel like, you know what, in case the cocoa tea doesn't work for me, I have a backup. So I would suggest that, if you need that backup, to have that for yourself. Thank you, Emily. There you go.
Hey, Asha, something that a friend told me to do right before I went to Colorado, and it was really helpful, was the week before, just pound water. Like, just make sure that you like just pound, get a lot of water. And this is, I guess, higher than some of the places in Colorado. So, definitely, yeah, that was helpful.
Yeah. I think 11,000 feet might be the highest that we get. The hike in Huayna Picchu, I think I remember looking down and I'm like, that's a far way to drop 9,000 feet down. I was like, wow. It really like puts things in perspective when you're on the mountain and you're looking down. So back then they didn't really have railings or anything like to like rope it off. There's some sections, but otherwise you're kind of just really walking in very narrow spaces. And the area that we're hiking, I've never hiked that part. I hiked another trail in that mountain. So apparently there are different trails in Huayna Picchu that you can take, but I believe they're all very taxing regardless. And one of the things I love about Peru, which is why the theme is embodiment as medicine, is that it really forces you to be so present with yourself, because even if you're in good shape, you're still moving slow because of the altitude. And those of us who like to move fast, it's going to force you to slow down a little bit. At least that was my experience and the experience of the other women that were with me on that trip. It was just very humbling. And our hearts are not as big. People who live there, their heart sizes are a little bigger to help with the altitude, so they're used to it. But our tiny little hearts are going to be like, whoa, this is work. So I really love that we're going to have an opportunity to go slow, because I think we all need that in some ways. And I'm really encouraging that for our entire stay there, working on getting the and I think it will happen, where we'll get an opportunity to pick a spot and either in Machu Picchu and do a meditation on one of the terraces, because I want you guys to really lean in and to be able to pause from being a tourist and sit and feel into the energy. Yeah, doing a yoga practice there would probably a little stretch, but that would have been so amazing. But I'm still going to talk and see if I can get my way with that, but we'll see. I think the issue would be other people looking on and seeing what we're doing and like, oh, but we'll see. Any other questions?
Can you remind us what the general weather is going to be like there at that time?
I put a jacket. Usually around this time, it's going to be layered. So in the morning and night will be cool. It'll warm up in the afternoon. So I would definitely have something, a light jacket for the day, definitely a rain jacket. But it's not going to be like terribly cold, but a jacket enough to keep warm.
Okay, so like also long pants, not shorts kind of weather,
I
obviously.
would do long pants for myself. Yeah. I don't think I wore shorts at all. I think and I went at the end of April. I was there in April. So we're going a little bit later in May, but the weather will start to shift a little, will start to shift slightly. Any other questions related to the retreat?
Oh, I have one other question. Is the space that we'll be staying at, the retreat center, do you know how big it is in the sense of we might be sharing it with other people kind of a thing? Or
More about that, but am I freezing? Okay, that's just paraphrasing. I'm not sure. I can ask that question, but we might be the only ones there, but I don't know 100%. I'll ask and find out. Laura?
What's the name of our retreat? I mean, like when people say, like, what are you calling this?
Are you talking about the place that we're staying,
No,
or
just the retreat. I
the
mean,
retreat? Embodiment as medicine.
okay,
Mhm. Embodiment as medicine.
that's all. I just
Doreen?
don't have the labels.
Huh?
I'm all about labels.
It's
Not,
okay. It's okay.
I'm not.
Yeah, huh? Doreen?
As far as communication, and it's probably different for cell phone providers, but like, do you suggest WhatsApp if you're trying to communicate at some point back home? And like, I don't know, electricity, do you need like different adapters, or is there anything like that that we should have?
Adapters, definitely. WhatsApp will probably be your best bet.
Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, when I was out and about, I just was there and present. And, whenever we were grounded in the space, then I would be on the phone. And that's where, really I'm suggesting for us too, is how we can take a little bit of a digital detox. during this time, I think would be great for all of us. But I know for those of you that have younger children, you'll want to stay connected as well. So we can also give the Wilkatika, your family, the contact information for Wilkatika. So if anything happens and they can't reach you, so that's what we'll do. Make sure they have all of that information.
Okay, thanks.
Mhm. I would suggest, so they have these outdoor tubs. They have this thing that you can do in the outdoor tubs. There's 7 outdoor tubs. They're all private in the gardens, in the chakra gardens, and it's done at night. I'm in on that. And because it sounds magical. And so I'm just saying it early because we have such a jammed schedule, that on your first day that you get there, like schedule that for yourself. Each of you are getting crystal. It's a 30-minute session where they have these crystals with lights, and all you have to do is lay on the table and receive, right? So you guys will get that, and you'll schedule that when you get there. That way, you can take advantage of some of the free time the first day, and I think maybe the third day, because there's a lot of ceremonies that'll be happening.
Hey, Ash.
Yes.
Do we book those things when we get there, or
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
So
Yes, that's what I
don't
was
try to
told.
book. Okay, don't try to book anything
No, we're
before we
not
get
doing, no,
Okay.
you'll be fine. You guys actually don't need to do anything, right? You just show up and it's all there, which is really nice, right? Yeah, so our yoga classes are going to be early in the morning, meditation yoga. So every day, usually from 7 a.m. to 8:30, unless we're having to leave really early. We're taking a train to Agua Calientes, and it's a beautiful train ride that you guys are really going to love and enjoy. So I think you're going to love it. It's one of the things I remember. Yeah, so anything else I will send your way as we get closer to our date and departure. And for those of you coming earlier, we will have another session. Yeah. So no need to bore anyone else with those details. All right. So let's go ahead and pivot unless we have any other questions that you guys want answered, retreat wise. All right. So wherever you are, let's take a position ourselves where maybe your feet are in the ground, or if you have your feet tucked in. We're just going to settle into the moment, into our bodies and breath. So take an out breath, right? So exhale through the mouth. And then take a breath in. And you can place one palm in the belly and one palm on the chest. And gently close your eyes. And take 5 slow breaths. And as you breathe, you're not trying to make something happen with your breath. And so I want to invite you to let the body breathe you. Let this intelligence of the body be the guide in this moment. You're just here witnessing. And so as we come into this place of allowing, I want you to notice how the breath feels as it flows in, as it flows out, how the weight of your body feels pressed against your chair, the couch, the bed, wherever you happen to be sitting. Notice any sensations, temperature, emotions, thoughts. And so you're fully arriving into the moment as you are. Right? And part of embodiment is having the capacity to be a witness to the now moment, to being with what is real right now in me. So, what is present right now as you breathe in this stillness? What is present right now? So as we were talking earlier in yoga class today, that in stillness doesn't mean the absence of movement. And so what we're experiencing right now in this stillness is the internal movement, is movements of sensations and emotions and thoughts. So from what is present right now to where do you feel it in your body? Just a gentle witness and notice if you're bracing anywhere. Right? So we're not here to fix anything. We're just bringing our awareness online. Just noticing. And feel free to breathe into any part of the body where you might feel anything that you decide, I'd like to bring some more awareness through breath to that part of me. And so this can be a gentle somatic command that I bring life force to this part of me, that as the technology of my breath is enough. The technology that is my awareness is enough to guide and shift. Mm. And then when you're ready, take 3 cleansing breaths, breathing in through the nostrils, breathing out through the mouth, and stay with the witnessing self as you notice what it feels like to have this cleansing breath, how it feels in your body, where in your body you begin to feel the relaxation, the softening, maybe the jaw, the mouth, the shoulders, the hips, the eyes. In class today, we talked about while we're in practice, how can we beautify the face, make it a beautiful landscape in the midst of discomfort, even? How can I allow myself to bloom? And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes and come back. So I'd like to get your thoughts, because embodiment can mean different things to different people. So I'd like to get your thoughts on what does embodiment mean for you? And there are no right or wrong answers, right? But you personally, what does embodiment mean?
Today I wrote after your class. I was a little frustrated because I was experiencing a little bit of anxiety, and I was like thinking that you spend all this time going to these places and doing these things that when you experience uncomfortability, that it doesn't feel like growth. And then I wrote in the middle, right after the first sentence, I was like, uncomfortability is growth. Like this is growth. And embodiment is for me embodying all the things. And then you just said a word that was, I felt like so powerful. It's the blooming of feeling that energy, embodying all those things and all the chakras and all the energy of your body. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Portia. You can just unmic yourself and speak when you're ready.
Um, I think for me, I think like embody like in body or back to the body and just the presence, bringing the presence back in and internally aware of what's happening and how the interconnectedness of it all. So I think that is what comes up for me.
Thank you, Doreen.
So I think for me, I've always considered myself to be embodied. I'm not even really sure where I first heard that word. I think it was in grad school. But I've always been very aware of my body and space. I've always played sports and moved my body and been really in touch with my body, more so than maybe. I mean, I have a thinking brain too, but even when we were just doing that breathing exercise, and it was a little different today. I mean, I was embodied. I was feeling my body, my breath, my chest moving, all the things that you kind of cued us. And then I was also in focusing on my body so much, I was also able to focus on non-body, which is kind of like the rest of it, the other stuff, the non-body, like the who am I that's not in my body, sort of this other realm. So I think for me, the challenge is to get out of being so embodied and be more in touch with the whatever the opposite of embodiment is. Does that make sense?
It does. So what would be the opposite of embodiment?
I think it would be sort of just this metaphysical kind of awareness of the part of me, that aspect of me that is not my body. So is that what's called spirit? Is that what's called mentality? Is that what's called emotion? All the things that are not necessarily experienced in my body. All those things can be experienced in my body, but for me, it's I guess metaphysical is the only. It's really hard to describe. Um, I think Emily should help me.
Well, Emily, I think it's your turn.
And when you brought that up, Laura, I was thinking like tactile, anything outside the body, even though you're still like using parts of the body,
Sounded
ears,
far away. There
nose.
you go. Yeah.
It's more external.
I think we missed a little bit of what you're saying because
You're
your
breaking
audio is
up.
going in and out. If you're talking, we still can't hear you. So you're gonna have to say all of that over again. Yeah, still can't hear you. Mm-mm.
That's so weird. She's not muted. She's just
No,
not.
no, she's not muted. Yeah.
Where else?
There you go. We get you in little pieces and then you fade again. Nope. We got you there.
There you go.
Nope. We lost you. So whenever I get you again, I'm just gonna have you stay really still and stay there. Um, no. Mm-mm. So let me see. What are our options? I'm not sure if it's your something with your audio that's going in and out.
I wonder, Emily, if you get back at, just go out and come back in. Sometimes that
See
fixes
that?
things. Just go out and come back
Try
in.
that. Yeah. Um, so thank you. I mean, everything that you guys are all saying are so spot on in regards to embody. And even Laura, what you were saying a moment ago, it's like all of the other metaphysical pieces, right, that are can seem abstract and non-tactile, and I can't reach it, I can't touch it. But I wonder, even with some of that, it's like, how can I even bring that into a space where it feels
Oh, yeah.
right? All right, Emily, talk. Yeah, yeah, wait, come a little closer. I heard something. Nope. Yeah. So
We try
I'm just
something different.
Oh, try now.
it caught you right there.
Yeah, when it gets lit up.
Yeah. Caught you right there, and then it fades again. Hmm. Say something, let's hear.
I'm gonna try to turn Bluetooth off.
Yes.
You can hear me? Sweet.
Hear
Yes.
you.
Oh,
Yes.
go, go, go.
Hear
Yeah.
you. Perfect.
I was just kind of saying to Laura that maybe it's anything external, something outside of the body,
Mhm.
something you can see, touch. I mean, you're still using the senses, but at least it's an outward experience, an external experience
Hmm.
versus an internal experience.
Mm.
And as far as embodiment for me, it's that inner soul feeling that you know you are supposed to be in that moment, at that moment, within the moment, and all of the moment at the same time.
Yeah.
If that makes any kind of sense.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. All right. You guys can just unmute and share your thoughts.
I think this is kind of similar to what's been said a little bit, but I think embodiment for me is just like really being aware of my senses and also being able to enjoy all of them fully. Like really smell the fresh air and enjoy the feeling of like soft clothing on my body and just being like really present. That's when I feel like the most embodied and like being aware of my posture and but not like straining, just
Mhm.
feeling at ease with myself.
Thank you, Catherine. Farah, Carrie, anything to add?
I love what everyone has said, and it all resonates with me. I don't really have anything to add beyond just for me, being embodied is mind and the body connected. Thank you.
Carrie, don't feel like you have to say something if you're not there. It's okay.
No, I'm just hoping that I grow in a lot of ways and and probably am able to express myself more as we go through this process.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Yeah. One of the reasons why I wanted to have these sessions leading up into the retreat is I really love a tight container. And by tight, I mean a container that is cohesive. What I didn't want was for all of us to meet on the first day and we've never met before. And so part of, when we retreat with each other is that we become family. And so these meetings that we have is an opportunity for us to start embodiment before we even leave. It's like, how can we as a group, how do we come together and share in that coherency with each other, right? Because when we are out there, we're going to be bonded before, right? And that sense of bondedness mean that we're going to be looking out for each other when we're out there as well. So, and that's super important. We have two men on this retreat that'll bookend for us, which I think with the masculine energy, which I think is really, really lovely, Robert and Travis. And it gives us an opportunity to, what I'm hoping for us as women is to simply lay down some of our, and again, going to a place like Peru helps us to do that. The altitude and the magnificence of a place like that is a natural de-armorant. And I love that because that lessens the work that I have to do and that you all have to do, is that we allow nature to do the work for us, because nature herself is so powerful, and to give ourselves permission to lean into being fully supported by that. And so we talk about medicine, embodiment as medicine. And one of the things that I was thinking about is, we live in a society where there's so much I have to perform and I have to do. And so part of that is medicine for releasing overperformance, releasing hypervigilance, releasing anything that we might do to not feel, even anything, any spiritual bypassing. And so the opportunity to become so intimate with myself, become so intimate with what's taking place, the awareness, to build the awareness of what is taking place inside of me. And to have Peru be the place that we go to do this is so magnificent, because we're not going to be in a space that we're used to, because we are going to be in high altitude. And so it's going to force us to actually come into the body. What am I feeling? Right? What's taken, what's taken place inside of me, and to bring that, it's all an offering, right? We don't have to do anything with it, but we'll receive these offerings, and we'll decide whether to accept the offering and not do anything to pick it apart, but to just walk with it as a companion. How can I be a companion with the things that are coming up inside of me, and to just be a witness and awareness with those things, not to fix, not to change, not to judge, but to simply to be with. Because one of the things I've realized is that my body holds the truth for so much. And even at 55, I'm discovering this even more and more, that there's so much being revealed, that I get an opportunity to be with my body, and to what's the word I want to use? What I'm discovering is that my body has always been the messenger of the decisions that I need to make. And so there's great discernment opportunity here if I slow down enough to listen to what those messages are. And of course, why medicine? Medicine is what regulates us, right? And so it's like regulating the nervous system. And of course, activating our intuition, like using the body as the tool that it's absolutely meant for. So I'd like to give a couple of prompts, and you can take your time with each one of them. And if you feel called to share, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. So the first one is, when do you notice yourself leaving your body? When do you notice yourself leaving your body? And again, when you want to speak, you can just unmute yourself and share.
So I notice myself leaving my body when, like today, just now when you did that short little meditation, and I was really in touch with my body, and then something happens and I leave it when it goes to whatever that other place is outside or inside of my body. So it happens a lot in breathing. It happens a lot in meditation. When I'm sitting in the morning and I'm meditating, um, that's when I am able to become unembodied, as it were.
Thank you, Laura.
I feel like my spirit gets really uncomfortable with Zoom calls, so I go in and out of my body all the time on these calls. I'm like, even before I was like, okay, the next prompt, you're going to stay really grounded in your body. It's fine. You're safe. This group is safe. It's all good. So I think Zoom calls, I go in and out of my body.
I could understand that. Thank you, Portia.
You're welcome.
I think I have a tendency to also go in and out of my body with just technology in general. Like if I'm kind of doom scrolling on my phone, like I'll just lose track of time. I don't even know where I've gone. And I'm like just not present. Just numbing, distracting. So yeah, just my phone.
Thank you, Catherine.
I think the seat of discernment for me is in and out of body. When there's overthinking, rumination, and deep thought process, and we either don't want to be in that process for a moment, but yet we have to be in that moment because that's the experience we're having. So there's a little bit of going in and out of not only thought, but then back into body and then back into thought.
Yeah. What that brings up for me, Emily, is, when I did my spiritual direction training, we had a whole semester on listening. And it was really my first time being taught how to listen. And it made me realize that, as we're talking about this, that part of embodiment is also like, of course, how present am I to the other in front of me? And when someone is talking, have I left the room in the back of my head, and I'm already creating a statement or a rebuttal to say to that person before they're even done, right? So it just brought me to that I've left myself to go somewhere else to create something that's not even like a future response. Yeah.
I think what came up for me was more around work, but also around like time pressure and and kind of what you just said, Esha, like not staying present and jumping two or three things ahead. So out over here instead of staying within. And that I think is just old patterns and old programming and becoming more and more aware of it.
Thank you, Doreen. Anyone else would like to share? We'll go on to the second prompt. We're only going to do two. You know, it's interesting as I go through menopause, and I've walked with this word I started my spiritual direction training, I think in 2015. So I've walked with the word trust for the last 10 years because I didn't know how to trust. I didn't even know what that was. I think I had the illusion that I knew how to trust and that I was trusting. But when I realized that do I trust life? Do I trust my body? And what would that even look like for me? But what I've been realizing these last 2 years, going through menopause, is that the relationship I'm building with my body, one, it's so intimate and it's so layered because when I have an anxiety moment or my nervous system goes into a wobble and stories start to percolate in my head about anything, particularly on days where I get no sleep at night and I'm up, and my amygdala gets activated, and my body has sensations, like trust completely wants to go out of the window. And so part of what my practice have been of late is when I'm feeling all of those things, can I still trust the moment? Can I still trust my body? Um, and that's been a big thing for me lately, is to be in the presence of discomfort, sensational discomfort, in my body and still know that I'm okay, that I can touch my body, my breath, I can breathe, everything is still here. And can I lean into that? So the question is, what would change for you if you trusted your body more? What's changing for me for sure is relaxing more interiorly and allowing that to move up into my brain, right? To rewire my nervous system that, there's safety here. Because so much I think I might have shared with some of you, maybe it's Emily. Our last discussion was, I think I told you that structure for me equals unsafety. Like I just had that recognition like a couple of weeks ago, and it makes such perfect sense with my childhood story. And so having to rewire and reparent myself in that way of how I can learn how to create stable structures within me that I can trust, including my physical body. So what would change if you trusted more? Trusted your body more, specifically.
For me, I think new stories would be written inevitably. Like the old conditioning would be rewritten with new, and at whatever small or like large capacity that would entail.
Thank you, Emily.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. I think we've been hearing a lot about the old self falling away. And I think that when you trust yourself, then you see new space. And there was a quote recently, or somebody said something recently to me that the body isn't me. I am not in the body. And I think that knowing that there's developing more of that trust internally gives me less fear and more detachment. Um, and that feels spacious, feels really good.
Thank you, Portia.
This is a really hard question for me. I don't know that I don't trust my body. Maybe I should. Maybe I shouldn't. Yeah, I don't understand. So you're saying what would change if I trusted my body more? I think I already trust it a lot. I don't know that I could trust it anymore. I mean, maybe I'm fooling myself.
No, it's certainly not a trick question. You might be there already,
Mm.
you know? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So
I mean,
don't second guess yourself.
I'll tell you a really weird story. I was having this little pain in my back. Emily, and I finally did get it scanned because I started thinking it was just like this little thing in my lower, it wasn't my back and it wasn't nerves. And then I started thinking, what if I have bone cancer? I better go get it checked out because I read something about bone cancer being really painful. It's not really that painful. Anyway, so I got it scanned and I have arthritis. And I was so excited that I have arthritis and not bone cancer. So it wasn't that I didn't trust my body. Anyway, yeah, I have a very strange relationship with my body.
Yeah. I'm laughing because I can relate so much to those types of things, right? You have a sensation in your body and automatically the mind goes rogue. Oh my God, I have this. Like I've just diagnosed myself without even going on Mayo Clinic or anything like that.
Oh, yeah. It's been like 8 months I've had this, so I got it scanned.
Yeah,
It's arthritis. Yay.
excellent. Thank you, Laura.
Sorry. I don't think I know Eris. Is it Eris?
This is Carrie. It's her daughter's computer.
Oh, it's
You're muted, Carrie.
okay.
Yes, it's my computer, but I guess my daughter has
Oh, I
used
do know you. I
it's
have.
used the Zoom link
Okay.
more recently than me. So hey, I'm Carrie. And sorry I'm not speaking a lot. I'm just kind of new to all of this and I'm just listening more tonight if that's okay with everyone.
100%. Thank you for being so authentic with that as well.
And I wish I feel like I listen to my body all the time, but I also ignore a lot of what it's saying probably. Um I don't know. I trust but I don't always give myself the time to take whatever my body's saying in. I just kind of look over it sometimes, hoping to slow down a little bit.
You're going to the right retreat for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for sharing.
I changed my verbiage slightly to need to trust my body more. And then I put body as a guide, tuning in more, and then believing in the intuition of it. So, but really not that I don't think I trust it, I think I'm not, I need to be there more to trust it.
Thank you, Doreen. Did everyone get a chance to go before we move on and close? Okay. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing tonight. It's yesterday and today, and I think I shared it with Emily. I had a friend that I met with a couple days ago, um, and she said something that was just stayed with me, and I've been sharing it ever since. And as we go through this journey that we're all in as a collective, and also the journeys that we're going through personally in our lives, um, there's so much that we are taken in, right? If we're talking in yogic worms, like in yogic terms, prana is anything that we take in. Right? So it could be things we're taking in with our eyes, our nose, our ears, our mouth, even through the skin. We're taking in so much information, so much energy. So there's all the things that are visible, that we hear, that we smell, that we're taking in. But then there's also the invisible that we're taking in as well, and how those things are affecting us. And the part about embody for me too is also, where am I so full that I no longer have capacity to hold myself? Where am I so exhausted that I need to rest? And so she told me these two words, and I've shared it with a couple of you already: um, observe versus absorb.
Mm.
And I really, really like that, and really wanted to share that. How can I observe what's happening without absorbing it, bringing that into this field of awareness that I am, right? Um, and I really like that as a way for us to even practice that, not just with what's going on in the world, but also what's going on in this inner world, right? Because we have two worlds. We have the outer world and we have the inner world, right? And those of us who are meditators, this is part of what meditation is all about, right? Is to sit in the seat of awareness and to observe what's taking place in the inner world. And we're not absorbing, trying to fix anything, but we're just there as the witness in self, to see what is. We're watching the movement. Yeah. And so this journey that we're on is, for me, with embodiment, how can we become more uh, internally rooted and grounded? Like in yoga, we always use this term of ground and feel, but it's always the external. And so embodiment for me too is like, how can I embody from the inside and the outside? How can I root and engage my five senses and the other senses that are not the five senses, and bring that into a coherence, and root from the inside out. And what would that even feel like, to feel embodied from the inside, not just the outside?
Mm.
So just a question I want to leave you with, for just for contemplation, not to do anything with it, but to have it circulate. So I'd like to just leave us with closing. So I invite you to close your eyes and come back to your breath and come back to the body. And to breathe in a manner that feels right for your body. So there's no performance with how to be right now. It's just being, just experiencing, noticing how you feel after you've shared, and just being here with others in this group, what it felt like to be a part of a group, what that brought up inside of you. And again, maybe ending with a hand on the belly and a hand on the chest, coming back to that tactile embrace. And so maybe group work is not for you, but you showed up and you created capacity for yourself to be a part of a group, or created capacity to share and speak and be heard. And just really celebrating those small little wins for yourself. Celebrating staying present on a digital call. And then when you're ready, take in 3 cleansing breaths. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Letting go of what you want to release to stay here in the cloud of things. And feeling the joy of your beautiful self, of your existence. I've been ending the 2 classes I taught this weekend with this. I bow to the joy within. I bow to the peace within. I bow to the love within. I am embodied joy. I am embodied peace. I am embodied love. I am. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So have a wonderful night. If you have any last, well, actually, before we go, and I know it's very, very rude, I just kind of hopped in without doing any sorry, I'm having brain fog, introductions. So let's just go around. I know we've been talking, but just before we hop off, if you can just introduce yourself and what part, everyone here is in North Carolina. What part of North Carolina you're in? So Carrie, you're the first one I see, so you get to go first.
Well, my name is Carrie. I'm in West Jefferson, North Carolina, which is near Boone and Blowing Rock in the mountains. And I came to be with this group because my friend Carolyn Weber has maybe met some of you, or I know a few of you. So that's how I'm here.
So happy to have you, Carrie. Thank you. Portia.
Hi. I'm Portia Thomas. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I met Esha through Jess. Thankfully, Jess has really been a beautiful catalyst for a lot of things that have transpired in my life, and Esha being one of those. So I'm really grateful to be here. I've went on a retreat with Doreen and Farah and Esha, and that was amazing. And I'm looking forward to this trip. Actually, I'm the most excited about this trip. And I feel this sense of safety in this group. I felt that when the first time we closed our eyes. And so I'm really looking forward to the energy that we'll all come together with. So thank you.
Thank you, Portia. Doreen?
Yes. Hello. I live the Huntersville area on the west part over towards Denver, North Carolina. And yeah, so I got to really know Asha a little bit more last year at a retreat, although found out I actually knew her from years ago, which is pretty fascinating. So yes, and I've done a couple things. I'm super excited for this. This will be the longest I've been away from family. We have four kids, three of which are still middle school, high school. But I'm very much looking forward to going within, disconnecting a bunch. I will probably need to connect a little bit, but really, so much I'm looking forward to with this retreat. So thank you. Excited to be with you all.
Thank you, Doreen. Laura?
I'm Laura, and I live probably not too far from where you are, Doreen. I live in Birkdale in Huntersville in the neighborhood. So yeah, I'm super excited to go to. I've always wanted to go to Peru. I speak Spanish and I've traveled around Central America, and Peru was always on the list, and I was so excited that Ashley was going to do this retreat. And it is stepping out of my comfort zone to do group things. This is the first retreat slash group thing I've ever done. But it feels really safe with y'all and with Esha. So yeah, I'm super excited. I'm glad to be going and to be able to check out and go within and just be in such a sacred place. It's just such an amazing place to be with you guys.
Thank you, Laura. And there's going to be lots of time to go hiking on your own where we're staying. So I talked to Vidya, who has been my contact, and there's opportunity like during the day when there's nothing going on to go and walk and hike and the Sacred Valley, and there's opportunity for it to be guided with someone too. So for those of you that want a little extra, and yeah, so there'll be lots of opportunity. I think when we go into the Urubamba market, there's opportunity for folks who want to hike back to the hotel, to the resort. It'll be about an hour's walk for those of you who are brave and you want to do that, to do that. But she said it's really a beautiful walk hike. So yeah, it's lots of
Well,
opportunity.
and I will say, just because you reminded me, for me, hiking is already medicine. That's my therapy. I do a lot of hiking. I did this beautiful hike on Friday. It was amazing. But for me, that's medicine. So I'm going to get extra medicine in Peru.
You certainly will. I'm so happy for you. Yeah, it's going to be home for you. Yeah. Farah.
Hey everyone, I am Farah. I am based in the Uptown area, and I am really excited. I've done. I kind of don't really remember what the prompt here was, but I've done lots of different things that Esha's offered. I did, as was mentioned, a lovely little retreat with Portia and Doreen. And I did the Costa Rica retreat. I'm really excited for this retreat. I went to Peru with my Peruvian best friend and her family. I like crashed their family trip basically in 2019. So I'm really excited to go, but do it spiritual style this time. And yeah, I was a little bit disembodied during this session tonight. And I know I'm saying it as like we're ending this session. So normally I would have spoken up more, but the reason I didn't was I kind of am feeling a little disembodied and no way out of it but through it. So thank you. You'll hear oh you'll hear that's kind of hard to say 3 times fast. You'll hear from me more next time. Thank you.
Thank you, Farah. Yeah. Farah is my groupie. What did you text me something? Send me something, and you says you're groupie, Esha's groupie. I thought that was
Yes, I'd love to say that. I'm like hanging around her all the time. Any
oh,
opportunity I can get, I'm like, Esh is offering something, I'm there. The only ones I haven't gone to are the like the Tulum and Italy ones, which also sound great, but I just really want to do the ones that have a lot of like breath work and are extra weird. And anyways, like so
so
that's
weird.
all.
Yeah.
Not that this is weird, by the way, but you know what I mean, like
I
the really
know
out there.
because Farah's used to me putting her through some interesting things that are not quite normal. But anyway, that's for another conversation. Emily,
I'm coming from Huntersville, and I'll make it short and sweet because I'll tell you more about me later.
there you
And
go.
how did we meet? Esha, do you remember how we met?
Ah, yes, I do. Monica's pool. Yeah, that summer, 2 summers ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I have.
All right. Thank you,
I'll be a
Catherine.
listener.
Yeah, it's all good. And by the way, I just want to say that all versions of you are welcome, right? So I don't ever want anyone to feel like you have to be a certain way on these calls or even when we're together, right? Just be yourself, whatever you're feeling in the moment, that's okay, right? So that's really important. I don't want anyone to feel as if you have to be on. It's not that type of a thing here. You want quiet and that's where you are, then embody that. Catherine.
Hi everyone, I'm Catherine. I am in Charlotte in the South End neighborhood, just south of Uptown. And I met Esha when she was teaching at iShine. And yeah, I'm really excited for this. And I've always wanted to go to Peru. One of my favorite books is the Celestine Prophecy. So I'm very, very excited for this.
Nice. Thank you, Catherine. And thank you to all of you for showing up tonight. And you have the date for our next one, which is going to be the end of March. So until then, take care. And any questions that come up between now and then that you have, any concerns, please let me know. And I'll try to handle that as best as I can. And I'll see some of you in Tulum next week, just one. But be well, and until next time, have a great night. All right, bye.
Good night. Thank
Thanks,
you.
bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.